Hi everyone, first of all, really sorry for not uploading any videos for the last couple of Fridays. We had a situation where there was a positive test somewhere at school. As a result, our son had to self-isolate, so we've been homeschooling him for 14 days. It's been a challenge, let's say. But the school has been super efficient. Every single lesson of the timetable was put online, zooming like crazy. We didn't have a minute to think for ourselves. Everything had to be turned upside down in order to sort out this homeschooling, so we couldn't even upload anything. I'm really sorry about that, but the school is back. Everything's back. They're all back at school now. Everything's fine, running hunky-dory. So here we are, and another Friday. Back in the real world, theatre world, here we are with London, where we are about to go into Tier 2 of the new government restrictions. It's mad, isn't it? Greater Manchester is supposed to be going into Tier 3 today, and there's the Mayor, Andy Burnham, up there opposing all the new government restrictions, refusing to take part, refusing to recognise the new tier, to cooperate. It's all complete madness out there. Goodness knows what's going to happen next. It's complete chaos. No doubt the problem stems from the devolution of powers to the different areas of the UK. So we've got England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland that can now make up all their own levels of restrictions, their own rules to combat or to deal with the ongoing pandemic. And on top of that, England, the UK government has now stipulated these 3 tiers to England, so it's really confusing. I mean, London's 32 boroughs. We're about to go into Tier 2 down here in Greater London, and the 32 boroughs of Greater London are all at different levels of infection, but everyone has got to be blanketed in the same tar with the same brush. Everyone's got to go into Tier 2. So if you've got one borough with very little infection, one borough with a really high level, it doesn't matter. Everyone gets treated the same in London. It's complete madness. As Sardines, of course, one of our policies is not to dabble in politics too much, not to put our political persuasions, let's call them, out there, and that's great because we are a theatre magazine and we should stick to the fact there's no shortage of news and media outlets out there that will give you their political opinion, and I'm sure you know which ones they all are and you watch them all the time, and that's fantastic. But it is like the government is trying to bamboozle us and muddy the waters and confuse the issue so much, so in the end people are just saying, oh, to hell with it, and they're giving up. And that's what people in the theatre industry and especially amateur theatre societies seem to be doing. So that said, and getting back to theatre, it does seem that we think, because it is a case of everyone thinking for themselves, there's so many different rules out there. What happens on one side of the border is not necessarily the case on the other side of the border. One set of restrictions is not the same as another set of restrictions. But anyway, back to theatre. It does look like that professional setups, professional companies, venue setups that are already employing social distancing and COVID secure hygiene regulations will be able to continue in tiers 1 and 2. Okay, so if there's something already set up, if there's theatre productions already in place, already been announced, they will be able to carry on. And they are their places of work, after all. So we think we will still be able to go to these places. Having said that, amateurs, mere hobbyists, as the government like to call us, mere hobbyists, we do not think they will be able to meet up. We don't think we will be able to meet up at all and rehearse or perform under Tier 2. Okay? Now, we may be wrong. We think that is our interpretation generally around the UK at the moment. I mean, if Tier 3 comes into play all over the place, and especially in London, then it could be a whole different ballgame. Everything looks like goes out the window. And of course, outdoor venues may also offer a little bit of relief, let's say. It's possible that amateurs may still be able to rehearse and perform outdoors, depending on which set of regulations you're adhering to, let's say, around the UK. But let's not forget the time of the year. It is now autumn November isn't that far away. It's Halloween coming up, the end of October. It's getting colder all the time. So outdoor venues, while they may offer an escape, let's say, from the restrictions, if you want to play around with words, but outdoor venues this time of year definitely do not offer the perfect scenario, let's say. With all these localised curfews, after 10 p.m. restrictions in place, it really is getting confusing for everybody. And if you think you know better, if your society has really studied this thing and understands its own circumstances, its own place in all of this minefield, then please let us know. Send an email to news@sardinesmagazine.co.uk. Let us know about your circumstances and we'll share it out there, because there might be someone else in the same boat as you that needs to hear about that. Having said that, there are about 17 exemptions to Tier 2. One of them reads, if you're volunteering to provide voluntary or charitable services, you may possibly find a path for some theatre groups to consider, but at the end of the day, it's probably playing with words. These fastly drawn up rules they've been checked by legal people, obviously, but there will always be little loopholes in the wording that people can take advantage of legally, I expect. So tread really carefully. It all probably comes down to public confidence at the end of the day, doesn't it? You know, if you haven't got the audiences anyway, are you going to bother putting on a theatre production? Let's just wait and see. I think public confidence at the moment is at an all-time low and getting lower, not higher. So that's really worrying at the moment. Ironically, of course, all this comes a week after Kudos and the Palladium have announced that pantomime will indeed be returning to the London Palladium this year. Of sorts, it's not a pantomime title being announced. It's called Pantomime at the Palladium, and all thanks to National Lottery, really. If only amateur theatre could enjoy such spoils. National Lottery have offered to buy the socially distanced seats that people are not allowed to sit on. So therefore, they're going to bolster the income for the pantomime production, and Kudos are going to be able to put something on. As I say, it won't be a proper pantomime production. It is just going to be probably a collection of set pieces, I would say, maybe celebrating past productions. Maybe it's going to be a lot of headliners putting on a bit of their turn, let's say. Of course, whether or not tickets are going to be snapped up, we shall just have to wait and see, won't we? But, you know, if your idea of a great night out at the pantomime is sitting in an audience which only fills 25% of the auditorium, wearing a face covering throughout, maybe not even being allowed to shout out, which is really weird at the Palladium, so what kind of atmosphere are you going to have? Then if that's your idea of a night out, then we wish you well. We really do. It certainly doesn't sound like a great family trip out, does it? And it doesn't look like the initial ticket prices are going to be lowered because of the lack of product, let's say, or lack of atmosphere at all. At the Palladium, top tickets are going at £129 face value. That's a hell of a price for a family of four to pay. And as the Palladium historically and traditionally doesn't enjoy the privilege of playing to many families, many children turning up, it's normally one of these productions where a lot of adults come to, and the humour is accordingly presented, let's say. Then perhaps there won't be many families there in the first place. But with the likes of, you know, Julian Clary, Paul Zerdin, Nigel Havers, Gary Wilmot, all the regulars, Ashley Banjo and Diversity, Charlie Stent, Beverly Knight, Jack Yarrow being announced. Let's hope it does work out. At the end of the day, we should all really be celebrating that Panto is going to be performed and coming back. I know it's all about business with these companies. At the end of the day, you know, it will be a theatre production that will be put on, so hooray. Of course, the other bit of arts news this week that's come out is the very recent announcement of the first wave of recipients of Rishi Sunak's £1.57 billion rescue package for the arts, called the Culture Recovery Fund. Grants have been announced all over the sector. A myriad of professional companies are in this list. There's over 1,000 companies been announced. There are a few amateur venues, companies also been put into the mix, which is nice to see. So out of the professional venues, you've got loads. You've got the Bristol Old Vic Theatre, Chicken Shed, Curve, Leicester, Young Vic in London. There's no end of professional venues that have been awarded grants. Some haven't been awarded them, but a few amateur companies have also been given grants, which include South London Theatre, which are their home is a Grade 2 listed building, and they're custodians of that. Crescent Theatre in Birmingham, Stables Theatre and Arts Centre in Hastings. All these are home to resident amateur companies, non-professional companies, and they've all been given arts funding by Rishi Sunak's new award, Culture Recovery Fund, which is great. So there we go. If your amateur or non-professional company, society, charity, whatever you want to call it, has received some grant, or if it's applied and been turned down from receiving some, please do let us know, and we'll compile a little list. We'll put something together and announce this stuff. Please send an email to news@sardinesmagazine.co.uk or go onto our new website and just comment on some of the articles there associated with the grant. Even if you've been given money as part of the previously announced National Lottery Community Fund, then please let us know. You can also call as well, 020 8302 7565. We'll be on the phone there, normal hours throughout the week, so we'll pick up your messages and we'll go from there. But the other thing is, of course, I can't take up any much more of your time. So just have a look at the new website, sardinesmagazine.co.uk. Please have a look. Please register. Get yourself registered on there. Then the website will recognise you. You won't have to keep logging on every time. Also, you can subscribe to the digital issue. That means you can go online. You can read our issues. In August, we produced a digital-only issue. December, January, May looks like it's going to be digital-only as well. After that, February, March, April, May, June, July will all be back in print. That's our intention at the moment. As long as theatre starts showing signs of recovery, then we can get back into the mix. That'd be great. But please have a look around the new website. Subscribe if you can. It's all there. We've got some really cheap subscriptions and digital subscription options, and it's all compatible with mobiles, portable devices, tablets, you name it, PCs. It's all there. It's all compatible with every platform you can look at it on, and that's it. So that's it for now. Welcome back to our Friday videos, and if you enjoyed this, please give us a big thumbs up. If you press the little subscribe button and the bell next to it, you get notified every time we post a new video. Give us any comments on our Twitter and Facebook pages or below this video on YouTube, and have a look at our new website. You can start conversations. You can comment on other people's conversations if you register. Stay safe, stay well. Let's hope there's a vaccine sooner rather than later. Or let's hope this great government moonshot campaign gathers some momentum. Let's hope some sort of amazing testing facility function service is brought out so we can test ourselves at home in the afternoon, go to the theatre in the evening, show our bit of paper, say, look, I'm clear. We go into the theatre, everyone can then mix, auditoriums will be packed again, no social distancing because everyone inside is clear for that afternoon, and we have a fantastic time at the theatre again. Let's hope that's not too far away, but who knows. Tier 2 tonight at midnight. Can't wait. Bye for now.